Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, sir, I also want to add my voice to this bill. And Mr. Speaker, I want to support the report by our Finance and Budget Committee recommending an increment over and above the one by the Commission for Revenue Allocation. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm doing this because I'm very happy with the way the Senate is this time handling this particular issue, this particular bill, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, last year, when we discussed this issue, we were divided, and we were arguing whether to increase or not to increase, or whether to increase to the level recommended by the CRA or to leave it at the level which was passed by the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, sir, today we are having a very, very substantial increase recommended by our own Finance and Budget Committee, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, when you increase the allocation from 385 billion to 391, that increase of 6 billion, Mr. Speaker, does not even meet the inflation. Because, Mr. Speaker, when you talk of increment, there is increment in nominal terms, and there is increment in real terms. And when you talk of increment in real terms, first of all, you take into consideration the inflation. Then you knock out the inflation and you consider whether you have actually increased the budget. And Mr. Speaker, when you don't take that into consideration and you just talk about the nominal increment, you are actually missing the point, because you are giving them less than what it is, if it is less than the increment in terms of the inflation. So, Mr. Speaker, this increment, as recommended by our Finance and Budget Committee, will go a long way in meeting some of the requirements, some of the needs of the counties. Mr. Speaker, having spoken about the need to increase the allocation to the counties, I also want to say that our counties need to be tightly controlled. We need to have control measures to make sure that they don't pocket monies which are meant to offer services to our people. Mr. Chairman, in Nigeria, Mr. Speaker, in Nigeria, when devolution was introduced, more than 50% of the governors went to jail because they did not know how to run a devolved system. They thought it was devolving corruption. They thought it was devolving eating of money. And Mr. Speaker, sir, after tight measures were introduced, devolution is now functioning very well. In our country, we have not managed. We hear governors are being interrogated here and there, but none of them ever goes where they should be. Some of them who steal money from the public, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is also the issue of pending bills. These pending bills is killing businesses. Pending bills, Mr. Speaker, is making the life very difficult for people who are not paid. And instead of reducing the pending bills, I have seen the list of pending bills, Mr. Speaker, sir. There are counties who are actually increasing the pending bills. Their pending bills are going up instead of reducing, Mr. Speaker. This is very serious, because the counties are supposed to take into consideration the people to whom they are offering services. And if they are still adding on to what is already a big problem, Mr. Speaker, this is serious, and the Senate needs to take cognition of this and take some measures to deal with such counties who are, instead of reducing, they are actually increasing the pending bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, I do not want to say much more on this issue, only to say that the statutory deductions, when counties make statutory deductions from their employees, and they also make such as NSSF, such as National Hospital Insurance Fund, such as the pay as you earn, they retain these revenues and then they use them. They convert them into their own use, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very serious matter because there are people who are supposed to earn pensions. They cannot get their pensions because there are no remittances. People want to access hospitals. They cannot access hospitals because the counties have not remitted money to pay for the hospital insurance, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is an issue which also needs serious attention because the counties are not supposed to use monies which they have deducted from their employees. This is not part of their their money, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the other issue is the own source revenue. Mr. Speaker, the own source revenue is an area where counties can get additional money to supplement the equitable share from the national government, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, but some counties leave a lot of loopholes, and they don't even want to go modern. They don't want to go modern by using electronic means of collecting money, which is more efficient in collection and
Senator, your time is up. He's not requested for more time, or you definitely would have given him additional time. Senator Lomenen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to support this bill.